Cells and simple circuits. Electrical devices used in homes like torches, radios, fridges and the rest require energy in order to function. Such energy comes from sources like cells, batteries, solar panels, and the rest. The energy must be transferred from the sources to the devices in order for them to function. Energy transfer takes place in form of charges. So energy is transferred from the sources to the electrical devices in form of charges. Charges follow a path in order to move from the sources. The path followed by charges is what we call a circuit. In the diagram we have here, we have a cell. A cell in this case acts as the source of energy. We also have the connecting wires, which will provide the path followed by charges to reach the electrical device, in this case, which is a bulb. The flow of current can be controlled so that it is either allowed to flow or stopped from flowing using a switch. The diagram we have here forms a simple circuit. Charges will flow from one terminal of the cell past the switch and to the electrical component and back. Such path followed by the circuit by the charges is what we call an electric circuit. It is also important to note from here that energy is stored in sources like simple cells in chemical form, so that it can stay there for some time, and in case of need, the energy can be used. So in this case, a cell is used as a source of energy. As stated earlier, circuits can either be simple or complex. Complex circuits are very difficult to draw, while simple circuits are made up of fewer components and therefore they are easier to draw, like the one we have here. Circuits that are made of fewer devices or components, like the one we have here, is said to be or is called a simple circuit. In this particular topic, we are going to focus on simple circuits and the sources of energy that we are going to use are cells. Due to complexity in drawing some compound circuits, we normally use symbols. The diagram we have here is an example of a compound circuit or a complex one. Imagine that we were to represent the same components in a diagram. We would spend for about 10 minutes or 30 minutes drawing a single diagram. For this reason, we do use symbols to represent such devices in circuits, so that instead of drawing the whole diagrams, we use specific symbols to represent the same. So let us now look at electrical component representation in circuit diagrams. It is important to note that circuit diagrams are simply diagrams that are used to represent electrical components in drawings. We have a cell. A cell is represented by two strands of lines, whereby one is shorter than the other. So we have two lines, vertical, one is shorter than the other. The longer line would represent the positive terminal of the cell, while the shorter line represents the negative terminal of the cell. A collection of more than one cell forms a battery. So in this case, we have a cell and we also have a battery. So a battery consists of two or more cells connected end to end in series. We'll talk about types of connections later in the topic. We also have the switch. The switch is used for completing circuits, so that if we want to control the amount of current flow, we want to control the circuit so that it is current flows or is prevented from flowing, we use a switch. The symbol is as shown here. We also have a bulb and a filament lamp. A bulb is represented by the diagram here, while a filament lamp is represented by this other diagram. We also have the ammeter and voltmeter. Ammeter is used for measuring the amount of current flowing in a circuit, while the voltmeter is used for measuring the voltage. Current is the flow of charge. So when charges flow in a circuit, we call it current. We measure that flow or amount of charges flowing using a device known as an ammeter. The symbol is as shown in the diagram. Fixed and variable resistors. For a fixed resistor, we have that. For a variable resistor, we have that other diagram. We also have other components like capacitors, galvanometers, and the rest that can be used in more complex circuit diagrams. So this is a capacitor, while this other one is a galvanometer. These are just but a few electrical components with their symbols.